I'm Davis Cornell. I'm a sculptor and an architectural stone carver. I have a variety of clients or customers. Homeowners come to me for custom art pieces or custom architectural pieces. I have home builders that come to me for architectural pieces like fireplaces and entryways and even address numbers. Creating a piece, you can only remove material. There's no reaching over here and grabbing another piece of clay and, putting the nose back on. I grew up in San Angelo in West Texas, started art in different forms at a pretty early age and just sort of kept it up. I graduated in 1993 and went off to TCU to go to college and continued some art there as a minor, but then I transferred to Southwestern University in Georgetown a couple years and switched to an art major there and then finished school there. Before I was a art major, I was a physics major and looking at a 3-2 engineering program, and so it was maybe a slight disappointment to my parents when I decided to scrap that and stick with the art major. I had one summer left before I graduated and was looking for a hands-on art job and found Harold Clayton in Dallas and came up here to learn how to carve stone. When someone comes to me and they have an idea, then we'll get that down on paper in the form of drawings.
The first thing he does is a sketch. So I got to see, taking a block and chiseling it away, creating a model. From sketch to finish, I experienced the whole process, which of course, that gets me more and more interested in what he's doing. Like for instance, he did a dog for me that we have in East Texas. He did a sketch, then he did a plaster of Paris, and then he carved the dog. And so I was there for every step of that process. I own 5 sculptures by Davis in different areas of my office and at the house. If you were to ask me what my favorite one is, I would have to say Pigeonhole, because I love the story of what happened to it at the San Angelo Fine Arts Museum and how it was vandalized. When Davis said he'd put it back together and then I could buy it, I thought it was a great opportunity to bring out the renaissance of this piece. It's a different way of creating art. It's a different way of experiencing art. I think of sculpture as kind of the next level of appreciation.
Right now I'm working on 4 urns or planters for a client in Fort Worth. They're carved from limestone out of Garden City. I carved 2 of them about 12 years ago for the same client. They were a copy of an antique that she owned. So now I'm working on 4 more of the same urn. This is one of the urns, an egg and dart pattern across the top and some egg and dart underneath and a bead course. In this midsection, it'll have 2 scroll handles, 1 on either side. It'll have 4 tulips on top of this leaf pattern and 2 roses also opposite one another on top of the leaf pattern. Before you can carve any of this, you've got to lay it out with a pencil, and then you can start carving in with a chisel and then come back with a file to clean up the edges and a little bit of sanding. This is a piece I carved for a Dallas client. It's carved from antique looters limestone, and I designed it with a morning glory with hummingbirds and butterflies. It's in 2 pieces, and she donated it to her church in Dallas. And the church contacted me about carving a fountain for them. This piece, I designed an abstract piece that actually functions as a baptismal fountain. The water's not running right now and won't be until later on in the spring. Water feeds through the center and runs down the faces on both sides. You know, this textured rib pattern, it actually just barely trickles over the edge because this area of the garden's sort of designed as a serene space, so we didn't want loud splashing water, but quiet splashing water.
Stone is irregular. You look at the light, you look at the shadows, you see the movement in the stone and the artist's hand, in the reductive nature of it, and it's a totally different experience.
Some advice I would give to any younger artist or aspiring sculptors: if you have that passion, I would stick with it and continue to create and learn what you can, but keep your hands busy.